All right, well, I'm going to say this is just going to be a quick little video on using materials. So I saw a lot of people have plastic water bottles, and I'm thinking, what can you do with a plastic water bottle? So I thought, well, I started trying to cut one up and see what I can do with it. Now, of course, I started with these scissors from my studio, and these were really not doing the job. They were too big. I then, when my wife wasn't looking, I went up and took her fingernail scissors, and these are too small. This would have taken me forever. So then I went into the kitchen and I found these scissors, and these are actually going to work really well, I think. So let's try this. So what I want to do is take a water bottle and, yikes, and let's see, I'm going to start that cutting. I'll start a hole in it somewhere. I'll use my X-Acto knife. And then I'm going to take the scissors and just start cutting around and around. Now, of course, this is like the third one I've done. So I've been playing around with thickness, like how thick should my cuts be? Should they be 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch? I think I settled on like a 1/2 inch, right? So what I'm doing is I'm taking something, a found object, and I'm transforming it into something else. And as I'm doing this, I'm thinking about, well, what would be a good way to use this? Well, my first thought, of course, hanging it. So I'm going to cut around and around and around. Like I say, these cuts are probably a slightly more than a 1/2 inch, not quite 3/4, closer to 3/4 and a half. So I'm thinking about materials. There's 100 different things you could do to these water bottles. And when it comes to cutting them up, there's probably 50 ways you could cut these up. This is just one. What if I were to cut the bottom off and cut it into vertical pieces, right? So that might be interesting. Or what if I cut it at an angle? What if I cut the water bottle up into smaller pieces? You know, so again, there's lots of ideas. What if I put some paint on the inside of the water bottle, sloshed it around, poured it out, and let it dry, and then cut it up? So the water bottle has, the inside of it has color. Or paint the outside and cut it up. So as I stand here doing this, or sit here actually, I'm getting lots of ideas, you know, about what I could do with the water bottle. So a simple object like this, and you can see this doesn't take a whole lot of, you know, planning. There you go. So there's my water bottle. I'm then going to take it, put a piece of tape on it, and hang it from a coat hanger in my studio. All right. So there we go. There's a couple. I've done 3 water bottles so far. Let's see what they start to look like. Hanging them. Well, it just fell off. Anyway, where are they? Uh-oh. This, we have to do it like this. Not thinking. So there you go. Okay. So I think that's kind of interesting. Now, what if I did, you know, I did 2 of them there. What if I did 100 of them? You know, or 200 of them? Then that becomes something. You know, 5 or 10 is but, you know, a bunch of them becomes really interesting. So there you go. All right. So there's just to show you an example of start to take your materials and start to transform them. When you look at this, you don't see a water bottle. You might look closely and say, oh, yeah, that was cut from a water bottle. But that's not the first thing you see. All right? All right. Thank you, everyone. And here's the rest of my studio. Big painting I'm working on. Another painting I finished, but I don't like. I think I'm going to throw it in the garbage. And there's my water tower piece. And lots of art materials. So I collect art materials, of course. I've had a lot of time to collect art materials. And there's painting racks back there in the corner. Lots of paintings I can't show you because they're all stuffed in there. Okay, so anyway, thank you.